Hey y'all, this is Big Country with Big Country Survival. It just got dark on me. Um, just got some range time in. Oh, buddy. Got to go out and try those soft points. The brand of it is Brown Bear, made in Russia, just cheap steel casing, 7.62 by 39. And so I got to go do that. Actually, ended up because my range bag, I always have my first aid. Just I keep I keep like a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, some gauze, band-aids, and tampons. Yes, I put tampons in my range bag. That's actually what they were made for. Don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah, tampons were actually made to plug bullet holes first, for they were made as a feminine hygiene product. So I keep those. Um, anyway, when I opened up my range bag, out fell my hydrogen peroxide. Busted the cap, just busted it clear open, and so I ended up saying, well, heck with it. I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna try my new round for my AK. And holy mackerel, it was glorious. It was, and I really wish that I was a skilled enough videographer and had a good setup that I could have actually taken you guys down to the range with me and shown you some of this. But there were like 5 of us down there, and so yeah, there was that. Well, the yeah, I was getting with the AK I was getting a good grouping, and by good I mean like 1 to 2 inch grouping, with my AK at 100 yards, iron sights, and the target I was shooting at was actually the look in the front of my sight, the very front of my sight, all but covered up the target I was shooting at. So I'm pretty happy with that. But so there's that. Some good times there. But anyway, this is a response to the video done on October 9th by preppernurse1. Sorry, preppernurse1. 5 guns, or well, 5 weapons that you would want to have during SHTF if you could only have 5 weapons. And I'm assuming, watching his video, he was only referring to projectile weapons, because when you go into hand-to-hand, there's a whole lot in there. But you know what? I'm going to narrow it down myself to 5 weapons, period. And so hand-to-hand and projectile. And my hand-to-hand is going to be, first off, I'll start with my hand-to-hand. If I could choose it, I'm going to lump them together, but the knife and tomahawk in tandem, that's definitely going to be my go-to for close quarters hand-to-hand, just because we're a gun culture, and swords are not really, really, I would like to have like a big old claymore or Scottish broadsword or something like that. But I'm actually planning on making one of those here before too long. Maybe in the next 6 months or so, hopefully. But so I'm planning on making one of those. But no, definitely it's going to be a tomahawk and knife combination. All right, now that I got my hand-to-hand out of the way, that's one. I'm counting that as one. And then I'm gonna start in order of importance to me. 12 gauge shotgun, right off the bat. If I could only have one gun, period, it would be a 12 gauge shotgun. Oh yeah. So why I would do that, why I would choose that, because I can load so many different rounds with it. I mean, I can get those Fairlane adapters even, and I can shoot multiple calibers out of it. I mean, I could shoot 22 out of a 12 gauge. I could shoot 45 out of a 12 gauge. 45 long Colt, because you can get the Fairlane adapters, and I could shoot with a 12 gauge. I could get Fairlane adapters for it, and I can shoot 20 gauge, 410, and 12 gauge. I could. It's almost endless possibilities. That and the fact you've got different loads. You got turkey loads. You got field and target loads. Like I was using for squirrel the other day, which I don't think I made a video on. But anyway, but you've got slugs. You got buckshot. I went through some buckshot today at the range. So that's going to be my first. Right off the bat, that's what I'm taking. Next, I would have to say is going to be a scoped deer rifle. 308. That's my preferred gun, as a 308 scoped deer rifle. I can take long shots, right? I could kill deer, anything. I mean, you can kill pretty much any animal in North America with a 308. You can, that's just it. I mean, a scoped deer rifle, and that's something I've got. And actually, I think I should change if you can only have one gun. Well, I'm assuming laws are not going to apply in this scenario. Because if we're talking right now, pistol, but SHTF laws aren't applying. Those are my first two choices in firearms. Second, it's going to be, third, it's going to be a 357 Magnum revolver. I'm going to take a 357 Magnum revolver. Why? That's a lot of stopping power. Second, with the second reason, I can load that sucker up with 38 special. So I've got, interchangeability in some ammunition. I've got more flexibility. Like, I know guys that own those things, a 357 mag revolver. I do not myself. But a 357 mag revolver, and to plink with, just to practice, they use 38 special because it's a lot cheaper than 357 Magnum. But I'm gonna go with that for my number 3 choice. Now, number 4, AK-47, or some manner of a combat rifle. AR-15s. I'm not a big fan of the ARs. Yeah, you can get maybe a little bit better accuracy, and I'm shooting cheap comm block ammunition. Them AKs, they'll shoot anything you run through them. I mean, they'll shoot the cheapest junk and it'll do just fine, right? I mean, they're so easy to clean, so easy to pull apart, so easy. I mean, there's nothing really to go wrong, or very little to go wrong with them compared to the ARs. So that will be my number 4 choice. Number 4 choice, and that's it. So, and then we can throw number 5 as being the knife and tomahawk combination. Now, why did I not say 22? And why did I not mention a bow or crossbow? Well, first off, There is nothing that I can do with a 22 that I cannot also do with a 12 gauge. Plain and simple, that's it. Yeah, light ammunition, okay, I get it. I like my 22, but I can do what I can do with a 22, I could either do with, my Scope 308 or a 12 gauge. I mean, uh, that's just it. A bow or crossbow. Why did I not choose the bow or the crossbow? Because I can make a bow. Um, I, you can make a bow, you can make arrows. It's called bushcraft, um, and that's really the only reason. Because a bow definitely has a place. A bow has its place in, um, in SHTF and in modern day society, modern life. A bow definitely has its place in a crossbow as well. But I can make those. I cannot, in fact, I suppose by that definition, I can make a tomahawk and a knife too, but yeah, okay. But that's my reason why I didn't choose 22 um, or a crossbow and a bow combination. And now, we are not talking about if we are not talking about your hand to hand, then somewhere at the bottom of the list, I would definitely be putting one of those two there, and it's kind of a toss up for me as to which. I really couldn't decide between the two of them. If we're not talking hand to hand there, it would be one of those two. It would be either a bow/crossbow, or a 22. I would probably lean more towards the 22, just for the same fact that I can make a bow, or by I suppose as far as that goes, I could make a crossbow. I've read some of the instructions on it. I've not actually tried it, but that would be something to try. Anyway, I hope y'all like this. Preppernurse1. I like a lot of his content. He's got some good thoughts on things. Y'all ought to check him out. This is Big Country with Big Country Survival. I'm signing out. God bless.